Hi everybody, my name is Harry Jacobs and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome. Today we have a special edition. We are going to talk a little bit about Dungeon Crusade by Roger Deering. And this is a reprint, the second reprint. I backed the first and also I backed the second. I'm going to explain a little bit about why I backed it again for a full copy. In fact, I've got everything. And there's a reason for that, and we're going to talk about that. But this is a campaign that is made for Kickstarter. Now, you've probably heard me talking, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I'm really cheer the underdogs on, because it was a brutal month for Kickstarters with Fractal and Voidfall and other games in September when Dungeon Crusade was hitting, and throughout October. And this game was a fairy tale ending. It was pushed over by the fans basically in the last 48 hours. It was around in the 80,000 mark for about 105,000. So it was about $20,000 left going into the last 2 days. And Roger is the most amazing, nicest person that I've ever dealt with and contacted. Now, we haven't talked personally, but every time I message him or we post, he is wonderful in his replies. So nice, so cordial. I think he has created a fan base just for this game. And I believe he's also got a band, and he's a singer and a songwriter. And I don't know quite where he lives. I think out west. But it is amazing what he did for this game, and it was a finish that was second to none. I went to bed that night with about 90 minutes to go on the campaign, and I thought, no, it's not going to make it. We're still $5,000-$6,000 behind, which really close, but no. Then I checked about 30 minutes later, just before I went to bed. I was in bed. It was up down to $500. And I'm thinking, like, well, 1 hour to go. We only have to really sell 2 copies of this game at the highest tier, really. And this game will fund. And I'm speaking in Canadian, of course, not the American. I think it was $85,000, which works out to 105,000 Canadian. So when I woke up in the morning, it was like a finish to the end, right to the end, right down to the wire. It tripped over. It got funded, and it is amazing. And it was a great campaign as far as I am concerned. And as far as I'm concerned, this is what Kickstarter is all about. Getting these independent publishers and games to the finish line and getting their games published. It's not about Mythic Games or Simon Games, who have millions of dollars behind them. It's about the little guy. I mean, this is bigger than, say, Jack Sporner's Dungeons of Infinity, but again, another game that has to do with getting to the finish line. And his second edition far exceeded the first edition, and I think Blue Sky Games for that too as well a little bit, who had I guess purchased the game perhaps from Jack, but he's still very much involved. I don't think you can have a Dungeons of Infinity without Jack and Sporner, and I don't think you can have a Dungeon Crusade without Roger Deering. And we're going to unbox this puppy right now, and we're going to take a look what's in there. I'm going to have to organize it. Roger has a number of videos on how to organize it. I believe he's got it down to like 4 plain old boxes and a couple of other things. So here's a video about that. We're also going to put in the comments and link at the end. He just did a video with Logan Chops, and I'm going to put that out there for you to watch and just see how nice this guy is. So without any further ado, let's get down to the table and we're going to open up Dungeon Crusade. So this is Dungeon Crusade, and this is sitting on my table. This is a big box. It looks like it's in a standard kind of 12 by 12 or a 14 by 14 box, but it is weighty. I mean, when I picked this up, I think there's like 10 pounds on it. It is a player count of 1 to 6 Crusaders. It is a dungeon crawler game from Groovis Games Unlimited, and of course Roger Deering and it's Dungeon Crusade Book 1, Genesis of evil. I don't know what book 2 is going to be like. And there it is on the back. Now, excuse the shininess. The shrink is still on there. But this is the game. And I don't think that it is going to fit on my table when we go to actually go to set it up. I don't think I can set up the Danger and Crusade game here. And so I might not be able to play it on the table, at least not this table, and I may not be able to film it. But what at least we can do is take a look what's in the box. And I see some shadows here that are driving me nuts, and I'm going to fix the shadows, and we're going to open up the box. Okay, after being driven crazy where the shadows was, it turns out it was this, my mat here. You can see what happens, so we can smooth that out. So this is the back of the box. The artwork is really nice on the box. Done a really good job. Let's open this up and see what's inside. I have to admit that it's been sitting on my shelf of shame for quite a while, and I am sorry for that, and I am embarrassed to say that it has taken me quite a long time to get to this stage. But I didn't foresee myself actually buying a second copy. But I did that only because I was only going to get the sort of the expansions or what's new, but you know, it was so close. I felt that I had to do something to help push this game over the finish line, and I did that too with Dungeons of Infinity. And so that's how it worked out to me purchasing this game. I was just leaning over to actually, and now I've got to get myself back in the picture. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing really well today. There we are. I have to adjust everything. There we are. I have a very small studio, and so what tends to happen is things get in array every time I have to do something big and have to shift things around. And I'm only dealing with maybe a 3 foot by 36 fin, so 36 by 36. I think this is actually a 42 mat, and I can push it out a little bit. You can see a tripod sticking out. Hi. Anyway, so this is the box. The shrink wrap is off. Let's open it up and see what's in here. I have never seen what's in here, so I'm kind of excited. There is the rules. This is hefty. I'm almost going out and say that we are talking about Gloomhaven proportions in terms of a game. Now, I will say, in terms of the font, not a fan of small fonts. Only because of my age, though. I do have to wear trifocals or progressives, and I do have cataracts, so that are not fixable at this point until they're worse. So, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, there's lots of videos out there, and I will read the rules. They are hefty. This is not a overnight learning. Obviously, this is going to take some time to learn. We have a scenario book. Into the Depths. And again, a little bit of small fonts. But that's okay. Look at the game itself. Here is the game. These look like the map tiles, and these look like 12 by 12. No, holy cow. See, my hand's 9 inches. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 12 by 12. And there's a number of those. And they're all different areas of the city, I believe. We've got the spider lair here. Oh, look at that. So there we go. There's the spider lair here. And here we have Ruins of Dagannoth. So I assume that you use these boards to travel and go to these locations, and then something else happens. But that's an assumption, right? Because I don't know for sure. We have what looks like player boards or chair red. Looks like epic boards. I'm not sure what this is. House of Chance. I'm pretty sure is part of the smaller game. And this one is Dungeon Crusade. Again, I have not played it yet, so I really can't explain to you what these do at this point. On the fact the artwork is really nice. I like the board outlay of this. It gives me kind of I'm sitting in an old tavern and we're looking at something. So I like it so far. I mean, again, I don't know what everything is. Oh, we've got the We can place bets. Now, I think this is one of the mini games that are included. There's a mini game. I think the new version has a new mini game, so there might be 3 mini games altogether. Not 100% sure. Oh, we've got something. Oh, a spinner. I'm sorry it took me so long to get at this. There looks like so many cool things in here, and I haven't done anything with it. We have, obviously, more punch-out cards. Oh my God, there's a ton of them. There we go. So just to let you know, these are all the punch-outs. I can see why he was talking about 4 different Plano boxes. Tons and tons of cards. I'm not sure what this is. If I was a betting man, I'd almost say that this is a tactical board for combat. It looks like it's 2-sided. We've got, what else is here? This might be the mini. This might be the Avalon game that comes with it. I am not sure. There is another game called Avalon, and it's part of the series where you can start sort of in these bigger areas and go into smaller areas, I think. So much in the box. So much in the box. And we've got mini cards. And now I'm not going to pull apart these cards quite yet. Look at that, a deck of cards for the skill chances. We've got tons of cards. Minion decks. So this is a minion. Looks like we got some minion decks. Now what will happen is normally what I do is I go off, as you've seen my other videos, I have gone off and pull it apart and put it back together again, and I show you how it's all stored. I don't know if I need to do that because Roger's already got a great video that does that. And of course we have, there must be a ton of standees because we got a ton of standee stands. And we have a bag of dice. So we have a ton of bag of dice. So there's a lot in the box here. And I'm looking forward to sort of digging in and sort of reading the rules and coming back at you with sort of how it all goes together and how it plays. Because I am super curious at this point about the game itself as I try to hopefully put it back together more or less the same way I pulled it apart. Tower attack. Well, that looks interesting. But there is a lot in the box. Well, and that makes sense in terms of the size of this game. As I said, this thing weighs about 10 pounds. And I'm going to have to look at it a little bit more. But that is just an unboxing of a Dungeon Crusade. So what is the next step? So the next step for me is to sleeve up the cards, if I have enough sleeves, so I may have to order it. I do have some sleeves on order, or maybe I'll have to go out and get some sleeves today at Ogre's Lair. That is my local gaming store here in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada. I mentioned that, Roger, because Roger said, where do I live? I live in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort this out. Now, normally I would use geek boxes, but I got a feeling that geek boxes are just not going to do it. Maybe I just need a whole bunch of geek boxes, but I got a feeling that a Plano box or 2 or 3 or 4 is probably going to be better, and that is the recommended solution here. But that is a quick look of just what's in the box. I've got to delve deeper to this. We will do some more videos around this, but I'm going to put this out as a separate video for now, and then we'll come back and we'll make we'll do a sort of a re-unboxing of it all organized, so you can just see how I did it. I'm not saying that I'm going to do it the same way Roger did it in his video, but I want to make sure that it's I show you what I did, though I think I'm just going to follow what the video does. So I'm going to go out and buy a bunch of Plano boxes at Walmart today. So they're not that expensive. Or there's a nice little sort of tool chest case, and you got like 3 or 4 Plano boxes, and then you can put your maps on top. That thing runs around $60 or $70 though. But that might be the best solution rather than fool around with a bunch of Plano boxes all separate and then lose them in the area that I call the game room. But anyway, that is all for now. if you want to snag yourself a Dungeon Crusade, as I said, the second printing has just finished on Kickstarter. Go over to the Facebook page. Give a shout out to Roger. There might be some first edition, first printings available. I don't know. I can't tell you. But Roger would be able to tell you. Certainly at some point in 2022 or 2023, we will be able to tell you whether or not he may be able to tell you whether or not there is going to be extra copies of the second printing. So if you're thinking about this and you'd missed the campaign, go on, talk to Roger, see what he can do for you. I can't promise you anything because I don't know, but he is a great guy, and he does respond to everyone, which is amazing. More projects should be like that, and I can tell you this, to me, is an epic Kickstarter, what Kickstarter was meant to be to a publisher designer. And that is how I feel about this project itself, is that it was meant to be on Kickstarter, and Kickstarter was used in the way it was meant to be. Anyway, this is Harry Jacobs. I am the North of 60 Gamer. If you like what you see, hit the bell. No, sorry. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. I really appreciate subscribers. If you want to make some comments, comment below. You do hear my dogs in the background. I have a very whiny terrier who's now barking, and she's pissed off because I'm in here and she's not. But my name, I already introduced myself. I am sorry, I am sleep deprived. I had 3 puppies last night. Today I have 2 puppies. The third puppy was 8 weeks old, went off to his new foster home. Today I have 2 3-week-old puppies. Look like Rottweiler crossers, and I've been up all freaking night, every 2.5 to 3 hours, feeding and taking care of them. And that's going to go on for at least, I imagine, for at least a week. So I am going to be sleep deprived. So if you see me bleary-eyed over the next little while, please understand. Thanks very much, everybody, and we will talk to you again.